Welcome to the week of July the 24th to July the 30th, Monday through Saturday. We're talking about some of the sky stories this week and how that might impact you based on your sun, moon, and rising sign. We have some interesting developments this week with the moon coming into contact with the south node in Libra, forming a square to Pluto that can bring some intensity around our private and personal relationships. We're going to also see the whole week end with a glorious kite in the sky that moon is creating that can bring some success and something extremely positive to our lives. But as we get going, and we're going to look at other elements as well, including a conjunction of Mercury to Venus, who is now retrograding. Welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Lori Lothian. I am a Western tropical zodiac astrologer. I'm using the whole sign house system, so don't delineate with Placidus. Go cast your chart in whole sign houses. Check my description box below for my free tutorial. I'm going to do an all signs delineation for the kite at the end of this week's roundup. I'm not going to cover every single thing that happens and do a separate all signs delineation. That would be here for hours. So stay tuned for what the success story is at the end of this week for each of us based on your rising sign, sun, and then moon. Now, last but not least, a couple of notes. If you are wanting to get my 2023 all sign videos, 12 videos, each 60 minutes long, about your sign for the whole year of 2023, my bundle of all 12 signs is now for free available to you in the month of July. Already 1,000 people jumped on board and have gotten that for free by how? Signing up for my Cosmic Moonshine weekly forecast newsletter. Comes out every weekend in your inbox. It's written predictive content by me for the week ahead. And you also get this content immediately delivered to your inbox. All you have to do is check that spam folder, make sure that you find it, but it will be delivered to you immediately. So welcome to my channel, and hopefully hit that notification bell, like, and subscribe. So this is my first time doing a week ahead forecast. I usually do the moons and the big transits and the eclipses and things like that. Also monthlies for all signs. This time I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to see how I feel about doing a week ahead forecast with an all signs element. If this is something that you like after I'm doing it, please hit the like button, share, subscribe. That tells me you like it, and I'll continue to do it. If this one flops and I get nothing on YouTube and no traction for it over time, and I'll try it for a month, then I will no longer continue to do this, because obviously the algorithm will say no, and that means you guys don't like it either. All right, so let's get talking about the sky. I'm going to bring up a picture of the sky so you can see it and you'll know what we're talking about. So you too can learn astrology rather than be at the mercy of an astrologer telling you what's true. I like to teach you astrology as well. So here we have the sky as it exists on July 24th. This is in the evening around 8:30 p.m. in Eastern Daily Time, but it's the same idea. The moon is moving through Libra. Now, I want to remind you that the lunar cycle is always coming off of the new moon, and the new moon happened in Cancer back on July 17th, around 24 degrees of Cancer. So everything about this lunation cycle over the next month, the moon will come into square, opposition, and square to the sun. That cycle is really about what seed was planted back on July 17th in your Cancer part of your whole sign house sky. Keep that context in mind. I'll be talking about it as we go through the week ahead. Now, the first thing about a new moon anyway, all new moons can fully outpicture 6 months later at a full moon. So in the same sign. So also remember that new moons are seeds that go a lot longer than 2 weeks afterward. So here we have the moon moving through the sign of Libra on Monday. Now, the thing about this energy on Monday is that the moon herself is coming into contact with the south node of fate. Now, the south node of fate is what we have to let go of, surrender, release. It can represent loss and disappointment. And of course, the moon will come into contact with the south node of fate every frigging month, right? Moon moves through all signs in a month. But this is interesting because the node of fate has just recently gotten into this Libra corridor, and that happened back on July the 18th. And so this is the first time we have a feeling of the moon with the south node. So it's going to be very perceptible for all of us on Monday. What do we need to let go of? What do we need to surrender? And we have to emotionally allow that. And it could be bringing us a great healing around purpose, around a quality of what we also want to do to repair things in our life, to find a kind of a healing and a repair, and also like a universal remedy, a cure-all for what has ailed us in some area of our Libra sky. And why do I say that? Because your Libra sky, we'll do the all signs if you like, but for an Aries rising, the Libra sky is a relationship part of their life. So they're letting go, surrendering, releasing, and Ceres looks like a sickle or a scythe, the goddess of the harvest. Often it can imply some kind of cutting or ending. At the same time, the moon is reflecting the energies of Chiron, the healer, North Node, one's impulse to reach for and strive for something. And Chiron can be purpose. And also Panacea, the asteroid that represents the remedy or the cure all. So, in some way, you're trying to devise a cure for what may ail you in your primary business, love, relationships. For example, if you were an Aries rising. I really want to focus on the all sign for the Kite, but the general mood for everybody would be some kind of feeling like you want to end something. It's time for emotional letting go, especially in one-to-one relationships, or places where you've been striving to find equilibrium, but has not been necessarily successful. South Node is going to teach us all about, what balance really looks like over the next 18 months. And this is a moon talking about that story. Now, the moon in its form at this point is what we call, drumroll please, a waxing crescent moon. It's that first fingernail of light after the new moon. A waxing crescent moon is a sliver of light, and it's trying to push into a full moon. It was aiming for that full moon a few, days later, weeks later. And so, it's often called, like Stephen Forrest calls the waxing crescent moon the extremist. I kind of like that idea of really having to go to extremes to push that green shoot of something new through like a hard packed earth, to really go for it. There's a lot of intensity here. I will say this, look to Monday and Tuesday to be a time in which you may come into some endings in your life by cutting, ending, and severing. The sickle, the scythe of Ceres is there. And you may also do some kind of deeper dive into what you consider to be an alignment with your purpose and your true calling or your true direction in life, the Chiron North Node element, moving forward through the sky. And I'll just advance the wheel so you can see what I'm talking about. The moon will move into Scorpio, and that's going to happen on July the 25th, which is a Tuesday. And the moon in Scorpio is a moon in a condition known as her detriment, but also even more so fall. The moon has fallen into Scorpio, which belongs to Mars, and the moon would have been exalted had she been in Taurus. Of course, this moon is traveling here once a month. We don't get all depressed about it, but know that the moon is in a position of weakness. And as the moon is moving through Scorpio, which is going to be happening on Tuesday and Wednesday, then the moon is not in her biggest strength. She has some challenges here. Now, at the same time that she's challenged, she's also going to be doing some positive things. One thing she's going to do is she's going to be talking to the asteroid Juno. And Juno is right here. And by the way, she will be forming that first quarter moon as she moves Tuesday and Wednesday through Scorpio, that moon that's now shining like a half light in the sky. There's an energy here, though, that she's loving up Juno, the goddess of commitment, marriage, partnership, money. Moneta is one of her dominions, the minting of coins. Now, in your own life, you're not minting a coin, but what area of emotional security in partnerships, vows, or collaborations exists in your life, in your Cancer whole sign house part of your sky, that the moon is coming into a flow with and trying to open up something positive, something opportune. And this flow energy could mean a new alliance is forming, one that is a first quarter alliance. It's like a trial run, it's a test run on a new business partnership, a new love partnership, or a new agreements of some sort. You can also say that with the moon coming into the opposition, as you can see, to Jupiter, which she'll be doing on, I believe, let's double check her timing. Let's do that together. That's why we love this. Yes, on the 26th, which is going to be Tuesday. That's the 26th is going to be Wednesday. I need to have my calendar handy. On Wednesday, she forms an opposition to Jupiter. And this is going to look like something like you could feel overly generous and overly emotionally effusive, but you may also be feeling that there's a lot of pressure on you to ante up and be extremely present for other people. Needing to have your privacy might be a call at this time, especially with the moon in Scorpio, but there's a lot of extra energy coming from across the way from Jupiter, really demanding attention from you. And that can be a person in your life, really demanding a lot of your attention around that time. And you're not sure, well, am I going to capitulate or not? But also that moon Jupiter opposition, who has that in their natal chart is Carole King. Remember that song of hers from Tapestry? I feel the earth move under my feet. You know that one? Yeah. Well, that's what this reminds me of. So where is it, especially with Uranus, the earthquake guy over here, what is like shaking up? What earth is moving underneath your feet? And what are you doing about it? Because it still connects to this story of where you wish to ally your partnerships and your committed vows of marriage or business in some area of your life, of collaboration. And there's a lot of energy that the moon is resisting from this ground shaking energy of Jupiter, Pluto. But on the other hand, the committed energy is supporting you to succeed. And that makes what we call a wedge in the sky. So in other words, I'm going to summarize this by saying on the 25th and 26th of July, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, you're going to be building towards some kind of alliance, hopefully in your life, that is going to support you to deal with this moon who would rather be sitting around reading occult magical mystery books and playing with spells, and has instead to really open up to what Jupiter's trying to push through here, that ground shaking energy. Of course, this is not personal to you. This is where your own astrology, and knowing it does help. We're going to talk about the kite for the all signs. I promise there will be an all signs compartment here. Anything else I want to say about this particular place that the moon is sitting? She's basically just duking it out with Jupiter, and she's working in an alliance and harmony with the goddess of partnership. So it's a pretty simple story. She had been in a flow to Saturn also and is in a flow to Saturn, basically during those days of the 25th and 26th. Into the 27th. And that flow to Saturn can open up a corridor, especially early on, like really more like the 25th, 26th, of where you have the emotional stamina to really persevere at something you're trying to accomplish in your life. And the accomplishing is coming from support from that Saturn in Pisces over here. Already, maybe accomplish a dream, push through to complete something. As we move into the week of July 20, the week ahead to July the 27th, we're now easing into a time here where, and I'm going to tell you the days because it would be helpful if I even knew the days. Sorry about that. I think that's Thursday. Yes. On Thursday, the 27th. This is what happens when you don't have a calendar handy. On Thursday, the 27th of the week ahead, this is going to be where the moon forms a lovely little mini grand trine, a little love in the sky when she first enters into the sign of Sagittarius. Now, in the sign of Sagittarius, she's aiming for becoming, and is at this point on the 27th, becoming a gibbous moon. It's called the waxing gibbous. It's what happens before the full moon, when the moon is getting closer to looking full. This is what Stephen Forrest, by the way, one of my favorite writers on the moon stuff, calls the shaman moon. It can call us inward to deeper dives and deeper reflection. Now, this little mini triangle, as you can see, the blue triangle that is here between the moon, Jupiter, and Saturn, is indicating something positive. It looks like a time in the sky where something is flowing and easy, mostly to do with, sorry, did I say Saturn? It's mostly to do with Neptune, something you've envisioned, imagined, want to wish and dream into being. Saturn's giving those wishes and dreams some backbone, and Saturn's involved as well. And it's a little out of sign, which I'm not liking here. So I'm going to go back and share something with you. So I'm going to take it back a day, and I'm going to move by hour. And this is what I really don't like about my software. I don't like out of sign angles. So let's get it more clear for us. I really don't. And on the fly with doing this, one of my people I admire for how well he tracks that lunation cycle is Cam White. Anyway, as you can see, the moon makes this beautiful tight trine to Neptune, and this is flow, ease, and that's what Neptune wants you to do. Imagine something great for visualization, spell casting, and magic. We're talking about the 27th or Thursday, but at the same time, it's trining Pluto, wealth, and power. I'd say proactively use your imagination, your inner vision, your intuition, your higher and mystical side, Neptune, to visualize and lean into something concrete that you can realize, Saturn, that can bring you transformation, wealth, and power, especially wealth, because Pluto retrograde in Capricorn is about that wealth. And it could be some wealth that's coming from your past. He is retrograde, some things you've been trying to get going in your sky, and now it's time to really lift them off. So those are possibilities around Thursday as this is forming. And then you can see we're losing this, right? As we move into around 5 p.m. on Thursday, the moon is tracking Eastern time out 5-6 p.m. evening on Thursday, Eastern time. The moon is moving into Sagittarius, where it gets some dignity. It's no longer debilitated like it was in Scorpio. And we have that gibbous moon forming, the waxing gibbous moon. One of the things here is that as we see this energy of Sag moon, it's just usually hopeful, ebullient, optimistic, faithful, all of that, the good things that Sag can open up for us. It feels like a lighter feeling than we were feeling in the 2 days before as the moon traversed Scorpio. Now, there is, in this lunation, going to be, and I'm going to show you in a minute, the moon coming into contact in a very positive way with this energy of Venus and Mercury. So just watch as the sky goes forward, and we'll talk about this together. I am moving by hour because that's how fast the moon moves. You can see that maybe around, I don't know, 7:30 a.m. on the 28th, which is Friday, you might feel really positive, upbeat, and joyful. You have a gorgeous trine between that moon and the sun in Leo. It might be a real feel-good day on Friday, Vendredi, Venus's day, and the sun, who is making that moon shine so brightly as it is still a waxing gibbous moon, getting closer to the full moon. She's there with the sun, deriving some dignity from the sun, is getting some power from Venus here, some goodness, some benefic energy, but of course the sun is in its own dignity as well. So there's a real feel-good vibe connecting to everyone's life on Friday. And as we continue to click through here, we're going to see some other stories developing. So let me do that movement towards the end of the sign of Sagittarius. Now this is something that looks positive. I like this so much. Let me get it all cued for you. We're going to end the moon with the all signs, the end of the week with the all signs, okay? We're going to get the kite up and running, okay? Okay, on the 29th. All right, so on Saturday, the moon finally moves into the later degrees of the sign of Sagittarius. And as it does this, it's still a waxing gibbous moon, the shaman moon. It forms a beautiful kite in the sky. Now, kites are about success. It's something that wants to take off. It's something that wants to lift high. It's opening up an opportunity for success that points at the tip of the success story, the South Node in Libra, which brings us full circle to the beginning of the week when there was something you might need to let go of, to release and surrender and cut away from in the Libra part of your sky, that by we get to the end of the week on Saturday, it looks like a very positive experience. It looks extremely happy here. And so let's talk about that for all signs. We're going to go ahead and do that. And as I do, I'm going to pause the recording just for a sec, come back to you guys because I need to change my software settings to rotate the sky. Now, I want to share something with you. No, I'm not getting any kind of affiliate link, but I have a girlfriend who makes jewelry now at Shopify. She did have Etsy. Now, I'm doing this because Venus is in Leo and I'm just a friend of hers. So I'm doing this as a friend. No, I am not getting any kind of money from this kind of thing. So she makes these kinds of exotic, really cool, that's like copper earrings. And she does it all handcrafted, one of a kind. These are, I call my mushroom earrings. They look like a mushroom. Any chance you're interested in this kind of stuff, Milena has a shop on Shopify and you can check her out in my description box. Now let's go ahead, hot, and do the week ahead. I'll pause and I'll be right back. All right, we're doing all signs for the kite. And as I go ahead and do that, I almost forgot to mention that there's going to be a conjunction between Mercury and retrograde Venus. And I will show that to you in case I'll show that Mercury-Venus conjunction to you before we go ahead and delineate how the success kite at the end of the week might look for your sign. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching in the live premiere. If I do live premiere this, hit the like button. Thanks, everyone. It is 1,000 degrees here in Vancouver, Canada on the day I'm recording, so I apologize if I look like I'm having a hot flash. I'm just having heat. Okay, so basically here we go. And what you're looking at is, I forgot to mention this, there is at 28 degrees of Leo. This is exactly where, by the way, Venus stationed retrograde on the 22nd of July, on July the 27th, which would be Thursday, you can see that conjunction forming and it's flowing to the nodes of fate. There's a lot of stuff about this beginning of the week with the moon. I think you have to give something up. You have to lose something. You have to let go. You have to end something in the Libra whole sign house. It starts to soften up by the 27th. There's some good communication, some feel good moments coming from the Leo part of your sky, some positive news, some good information that sort of smooths things up for you. And then later on, as we move forward, which is what we're going to do next, we're talking about the kite, which, as I mentioned, comes into formation on Saturday. So here we have the kite. We're going to go through all signs July 29th. What are you going to succeed at based on your rising sign? Let's begin with Aries, sun, moon, and rising. Okay, Aries, in the sky for you, what you're going to look at the end of the week is literally something that says, what can really take off in your life? What can really fly high that has to do with love, with committed love and committed romantic love, committed unions? Yet at the same time, there needs to be a letting go and a releasing. Because of Scythe, the Scythe is harvesting something there, because the South Node is there, because this is where this whole gnarly week started off with the moon traveling through there opposite Chiron. This is the end, and this is the success story. Certainly the moon is supporting this from a place of dharma, foreign lands, third marriages, trips and travel to foreign countries. At the same time, that's what the moon is doing up there with the witch Circe. At the same time, the crossbar of the kite is Venus in the house of sexuality and romance. And she may be saying something like, well, or your children, or your entrepreneurial life, are you ready to let go of something with ease and grace so that you can soar? Now, this can be letting go of a client, a marketplace, an audience, or something that you do if you reach out to those people, especially with Pluto finishing his journey in your 10th house in the next year. You may be retiring, leaving behind a path, changing your direction professionally. This lunation can be very much, because it started in Cancer and all of the moon phases connect to the 4th house, going deeper into the roots of who you are in this week ahead to see what is okay to let go of, where before you thought you needed to stay there, especially when it comes to partnering with others. And a moon in the 9th house can really bring some kind of positive energy from the deepest wisdom within you, how you source your own inner guru in order to make these decisions. This is most accurate for the Aries rising. Sun and moon would be much more secondary to this kind of sky. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign. A kite of success finishes up the week strong on Friday, Saturday, where this gritty tension that started the week, yes, in your 6th house of health habits, where you need to let go of something, like an addiction, the house of pets and tendencies, also the 6th house of debt, karmic and otherwise real life debt. All of this energy was really gritty at the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday. And that was because of the lunation, the waxing crescent. This extremist energy was there. Maybe having an extreme discontent with your job and wanting to quit, or having a fight with a boss or coworker or office worker, something like that. Then as the week comes to an end, all of that grit and tension looks like it pays off. Some kind of success kite in the arc of letting go. What, of your pet, your rental property, the debt situation, the work situation. Now, maybe a coworker lets go and they leave and your whole workspace feels better, but maybe you're leaving a workspace for something new and better. Support from the moon is important. The moon is going to be cheering you on, and the moon can say, well, if you really want to get this off the ground, why don't we look at, chunky money? Can you resource money from a loan or from somebody that you know that would partner with you, so you don't have to rely so much on the earnings story? Now, I know you see the moon is over in Capricorn, but technically that's not what we're talking about. So give me a minute while I back up the chart. This is what happens when you do moon videos and you're showing the chart. The moon is actually moving really, really quickly. As we go forward, we're going to lose the image of the kite. So don't fixate on what the sky looks like. It will look like no kite is there, but we're talking about on the 29th, there is indeed a kite in the sky, even as the moon slips away and heads over to the Capricorn part of the sky, where the moon is also in debility. So like, for example, you'll see on July the 30th that moon is in Capricorn. Well, on the 29th for the whole day, the moon is going to light up a beautiful kite, right, in the sign of Sagittarius. So looking for resources and money that come from different places than your work to support some transition, maybe for some of you. Also with Venus in the fourth house, there's something about what maybe you can do from your home base, or maybe you can rely on a parent for some support if that's a possibility. The fourth house can be your ancestral homeland as well, and your parents and your childhood, but some support maybe from something in and from your home to kind of looks like detach from some unhappy story to do with work, pets, tendencies, but success in the detaching, a positive, joyful, good outcome, especially, by the way, excuse me, I'm doing whistly talk today, especially if you have an addiction. This is very good for getting rid of a bad habit and addiction and sealing the deal and nailing that coffin closed, or any kind of untoward bad habit. Okay, I'm back from the small screen. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising. The week starts off tense, as I mentioned earlier. It's going to be a gritty beginning in the Monday, Tuesday, where you feel some kind of tension going on to do with your fifth house and what you need to let go of there. And it may feel like, eeks, I have to drop that relationship. I have to drop that business entrepreneurial endeavor. I have to let go of that over focus on my child. Because anyway, South Node transit through that part of your chart will make you do that in the next 18 months. But also you may be letting go as well of things that used to bring you pleasure and joy. Maybe there's a changing of the guard, a deepening towards less pleasure, more joy, moving towards the spiritual aspect of what is truly auspiciously pleasurable for you. This is the beginning of that feeling as the moon for the first time connects with the South Node in Libra in 18 years. Now, the scythe of Ceres here, she might be saying, let's harvest, let's cut out, let's end something. At the end of this week, on Saturday, we get a feel-good kite, and it's really building on Friday, and then it's Saturday, it's full on, and it's going to offer you some successful outcome. And you're really looking at the top of that kite being, I succeeded in getting rid of this thing, or shifting my perspective on entrepreneurial stuff, joy, play, pleasure, sexuality, your children, romance, entrepreneurial stuff, if I didn't say that, creativity as well. And because there's the moon supporting from the actual Sagittarius part of the sky during the kite's activation, you might get some real support here from your loved one, your business partner, your number one monogamous marriage type partner, to really help you lift this kite up high. It's a success to what you let go of, not what you get, basically. And Venus is the house of siblings and local and childhood friends, and she's in that house. I mean, those things, the neighborhood. She's also Venus in the house of the online world. Maybe a woman in the online world, a woman in the neighborhood, or a sibling, particularly female, is also helping you lift this kite of letting go for something greater to happen. And the kite's being held, right? Being held by the North Node with Chiron in the 11th house of your hopes, dreams, and wishes for your life and great gains. So ultimately, there's a big shift around how those great gains can be sourced from pleasure and temporary satisfaction to a deeper pleasure and a deeper joy on a more spiritual front. Look for those breakthroughs on Saturday. All right, Cancer, sun, moon, and rising sign in the sky. What you've got going on here is you got the movement of the moon in the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday, into a place where there's a North Node connection. And that is the first time that's happened for a long time, 18 years. What the moon might be asking you as it's in its extreme waxing crescent mode is, what do you personally need to let go of? Because it was a new moon in the sign of you on July 17th. What are you personally going to choose to let go of and surrender? That has to do with things to do with your home, where you live, your land, messages you took it on from your childhood, messages you adopted from your family of origin system, or even the ancestral line. And so you're letting go, dumping a bunch of that junk out. And as you do that, you get to create some success, but it feels difficult throughout the week until you break through Friday, Saturday with this kite. And the kite is going to shine brightly or lift its little tip high into the sky. And what's going to happen is it's going to lift its tip high into the sky. Where? So that's the key of a kite. I wish you could see the kite. It's really bothering me that you can't. Let me see if I can get it back just to show you what it looks like, It's going to lift its tip high into the Libra sky. And so that's what I'm pointing at, but not your chart. So I apologize. It's just frustrating when you can't get the sky to look right. So you could let go of, in your case, Cancer, I apologize. Let's move it back. You could let go of a home. You could let go of a rental property. You could let go of somebody in your home. Time for them to move out. You're going to ask them to leave. The sickle is cutting away somebody, or they just tell you they're going to leave, by the way, especially with the moon moving into the fifth house of children right after. One of your children may be denesting or telling you they're leaving the home. The energy here also suggests that you could create greater career success. It's a career path. The North Node Chiron is truly on purpose by really dumping out a bunch of junk in the family of origin, family system stuff. But on a practical level, this may be the beginning of a recognition as the weekend approaches that you need to change something significant about your home, in your home, or even the home itself as well. You can see that the moon's supporting this. Well, you can't see, but the moon will actually be in the sign of Sagittarius during the kite itself. This is support from, choosing health routines and work routines that are supportive to your lifestyle, but also maybe help from a coworker or colleague or employee type person in terms of bringing some greater awareness to how to have career success by letting go of something that you have adopted as maybe a default pattern or a default strategy from your childhood. And lastly, because this kite is also connecting very strongly to the energy of a Venus retrograding in Leo, you might go back and change your food style, or you may go back and change something about the way you earn money. You may choose to go back to an older earning pattern, or deeply revise and revision and rethink the way that you create money. So this Saturday, look to, coming up the end of this week, some breakthroughs here as a kite gives you a break and a big feeling of success. All right, Leo, sun, moon, and rising sign in the sky. You have the beginning of this week with the moon moving into Libra, where the moon is actually connecting with the node of fate in a way we haven't seen in 18 and a half years. This is going to be about what you need to end, separate, let go of, cut away from your third house life. This could be trips, travel, journeys, local neighborhood, things and people, cousins, siblings, and you're looking at something harvested here. It's something like, I want to release myself from this. And that's a big story, that South Node, over the next year and a half, in which you may release these kinds of relationships or placements. It can really mean for a lot of you, Leos, you're quite grounded on the travel front for the next 18 months, for example. Well, on the local travel front. So that could be very true. Now, the week is different than the year. So we're the year and a half. So we're just going to keep it focused to the end of this week on Saturday, because there's a kite forming with a tip in your Libra part of your sky on the South Node. Well, what could you be letting go of that finally proves to be quite successful? And you recognize that on the weekend, maybe Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you're like, hallelujah, I finally let go of that blank. Now, online world, online dating, online platforms can be third house, virtual neighborhoods. You may dump a platform, let go of something there, or skills-based learning. You may have been taking a class to further a skill and you want to quit, or teaching a class and you want to quit. I don't want to say too much about the moon other than that the moon from the fifth house can lend support to this letting go from people that are lovers or romantic partners, or your children, as well as Venus saying you've got what it takes here to really revision your values around money and love and life during the time of the weekend coming up. Anything else? A lot of leaning into meaningful purpose, leaning into a career path or a destination for your work that feels to be really, really on alignment with what you would call your dharma. That's that Chiron North Node energy in the ninth house. All right, Virgo, sun, moon, and rising sign in the sky for you. What you've got going on is you've got a brand new, you've got a moon moving into Libra at the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday vibe, where the moon is connecting with the South Node, asking you to let go of, surrender, and release something. And it may feel like a very difficult energy at first. And you might be going, do I want to quit this food style? I love my gluten. Do I want to quit the vape? Do I want to quit the alcohol? All of these are very possible here. And the reason is because this is what you put in your mouth in this house. It's a food style house, okay? Be right back. I'm doing you. I promise I won't stop. I'll get back to you. Oh no, I don't want to stop the recording. I almost stopped the recording. I'm back. It was so hot here. I had to change out of my clothes and something fresh. So continuing, guys. Oh my goodness. Sorry. I know you didn't know I was even gone. All right. So here we are, back to Virgo. So, addictions, basically, getting rid of something that you're eating that you shouldn't put in your mouth. That's very possibly happening for some Virgo sun, moon, and rising. You could just do a detox or take a break. The week is calling you to ask the question, do I need a break from something I'm eating? Do I need to let go of it, or drinking, or whatever? Also, it may be about earnings. Some of you may quitting your job. Hang on a sec. Virgo, you're getting the most interrupted of all people. I apologize, dog barking issues, but here we go. Your earnings, what you're making money, how you make money. Classically, I don't know, see many astrologers say this, but Ceres often looks like a scythe. I mean, she is a scythe. I see it look like grim reaping, ending, cutting, severing, kind of like harvesting. You may quit a job, you may end a job, you may change an earnings path of some sort. You may be thinking about it. It may feel difficult at the beginning of this week. Monday, Tuesday, you're asking those questions. You feel like it's a big question mark. There was a new moon in the earnings house up here. Like, how do you make money? What are the gains? How do you make those gains from your career? And now you're coming to some gritty tension at the beginning of the week, Monday and Tuesday. And then as we move forward throughout the week, there's increasing ways that this becomes resolved. But particularly Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you get that vibe of that kite taking off. And it says it is time to let go of that alcohol or that food style or that job that you no longer want. And that's really coming to like a breakthrough, a success energy on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Some of the energy from the moon supporting that is things that people that you live with, your domestic life people, the people around you, or even people like your mom and dad, family of origin, particularly mom, really lending a hand with the moon in the 4th house to support you in those shifts as well. And you can say that Venus on the 12th house, who loves her pleasures, is going backward. She's like, we're overdoing it. We're overdoing these pleasures. So you may actually make some decisions based on her backward momentum, especially with Mercury there beforehand, to change your mind about certain things you're thinking were pleasurable, but you're not so sure anymore, especially in work, especially in addictions. And I guess I'd say that the sun in this kite, when it does form, is going to be anchoring the kite. Not the sun, the North Node is anchoring the kite for you across the way from Libra, which is Aries. There's a lot of push in the next year and a half anyway, with the notes for you to source your money from more than just your earnings, whether it's your savings, your 401k, inheritances. New money sources are coming to you anyway in the next year and a half. All of you Virgo risings, even just retiring and using the money you have. All right, Libra, sun, moon, rising sign. The way this week looks for you guys in general, gritty tension at the beginning of the week about something you need to let go of, or release or surrender, even cut away in the house of your identity. Now, this is a trickier one, right? Because, you had a new moon on July 17th in the 10th house of purpose and career and your visible reputation. And now, Libra, you've got this energy of you holding the frigging scythe. You may cut away a job. You may quit a career path. You may be thinking about it Monday, Tuesday. It feels difficult. It feels tense. You're not sure what to do. And it's an extreme energy because it's a waning crescent, waning crescent moon. So you might want to burn the ridges. What is it? Scorched earth at the workplace or something like that. Even scorched earth with business partners and main squeezes in the Monday and Tuesday. And you're not sure about whether you should be killing people with that or cutting their heads off with their heads. But as the week progresses and you move into the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as that kite begins to lift, the gist of the kite is going to be something like, can you actually succeed in wielding this powerful cutting away energy successfully? The answer will be yes. And it will allow you at the same time, as this is, a positive kite formation, to harness a moon in the 3rd house. That means that maybe people that in the local environment or the online world or cousins or siblings can really support you in this change, or even a change of neighborhood or a change of location where you live is supporting some kind of cutting away change energy that a new moon in your 10th house is trying to help you create. Now, this new moon will outpicture this July 17th new moon will finally outpicture 6 months from now, but a lot is going on in this first month after this new moon. Next, I would want to point your attention then as well to the support you're also getting from Venus, who in Leo says friends with favors for you, benefactors, patrons, women friends, sisterhood and community, really leveling up to give you some support perhaps about these kinds of things that you're wishing to change. Maybe even some of you are going through a difficult situation with an existing marriage. North Node Rahu going through your marriage house for the next 18 months will either expand the marriage and grow a new pot for the bigger pot for the plant of the marriage, or it will kill the marriage, one of the two. And so right now, if you do have a marriage partner and you're Libra rising, not sun and moon, or secondarily, you might be actually looking at some conflict with an existing partner, in love or in business, coming up in the week ahead. But at the end of the week, you sort of come to a happy ending, a resolve of some way and somehow. Okay, moving on. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign. If you're a Scorpio, the energy of the moon on Monday and Tuesday moving through Libra in an extreme crescent formation, like an intensity around it, trying to really push for success. This moon in the Libra part of your sky is going to be all about your 12th house stuff. Now, this is like often to do with things that you don't really have a conscious awareness of. It can be, your dreams at night. It can be about your own complexes, your psychological complexes, your spirituality is here. Technically, you also could undo yourself here. It's how you sabotage your life, by not being conscious of all your inner dynamics. But there's also solitude here, aloneness, and maybe, I don't know, there's a need to let go or release or surrender how alone you've been. But self-know moving through here over 18 months, if you've been a loner, spending time in solitude, that's not going to be true anymore. Or if you have foreign land residency and you may be thinking of shifting to another country, getting out of the foreign land, maybe going back home as the South Node moves through your 12th house over the next 18 months. But in the short term, there's this feeling of tension Monday and Tuesday as you feel this lunation building toward the first time with the South Node in like 18 years. And at the end of the week, this kind of resolves with a kite in the same place that Monday and Tuesday feels like hell. Then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there seems to be a light here. Something is working out. Now, some of you may want to change your work. Some of you may want to get out of the current workplace. Not all of you. It's just that the North Node Chiron is trying to say, get purposeful work, get purposeful about the people you spend time with in your purpose and career. That's a story that's ongoing over the next year. But it is going to be at the base of a kite, where the kite is held. If you have addictions and self-undoing, I know I mentioned for other signs, but 6-12 axis is activated, time to release and let go of those bad habits and patterns as well. You got a support from the moon and Sagittarius in the earnings house, and from Venus in the 10th house of career. This can look like a raise, a promotion, or definitely a change of job. Because the 12th house is involved, maybe some backroom deals and negotiations to get you that, but you see the light at the end of the week on Friday, Saturday, and it looks like a success story. And last, if you make any kind of financial changes regarding work, with Venus in the 10th house retrograde, some of these are also connected to people from your past. Former employees, employers, people from the past in the coworker space coming back to you to help you up level. Lastly, be careful for secret love romances with coworkers. Venus retrograde, going to be invisible in the sun in August, secrets and blood pleasures in the 12th. So if any of you are into office romances or coworker space infidelities or something really weird like that, this is going to be a gnarly Monday, Tuesday, but a successful completion of the troubles on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All right, Sagittarius, sun, moon, and of course rising, but so rising, you're most accurate, always most accurate. So the energy of the beginning of Monday, Tuesday, you're feeling a lot of tension, maybe. I'm needing to like extreme energy. You want to cut something away. You want to end something. It's a crescent moon. It's waxing. It's got the scythe of Ceres in your friendship circle. Some of you are done. Like you're like going to slice out a friend. You're going to say enough. Some of you might want to cut away from groups of belonging, clubs and social groups that are part of your life as well. And you may even be deeply wanting to just sort of give up on and quit some dream or goal or wish for your life. Surrender it. Some of you are doing that anyway. Of course, 18 months of the South Node through your house of good spirit can help you let go of those groups of friends that are no longer serving you. And sometimes it's really practical, like you move or relocate. I had a South Node transit through there and had to do with a move away from my friends. So, it's not always just a thing that has to do with your decisions. But Monday, Tuesday, look for this kind of a loss of friends, a loss of a club, a loss of a group of belonging. Potentially even a little bit of a loss of gain from your career path. And then you might be feeling, because of the new moon that happened in the 8th house of chunky money, that you're really trying to get some more money over the next few months, the next 6 months, to rely on other people's money or money that you don't earn directly, passive income, royalty income, other kinds of money, making money, your partner having some friggin' money, you share the money, whatever. And you're trying to open that up as a strong energy in the next 6 months. And that's still in play. So there can be definitely some essences of financial feeling like financially stressed out Monday and Tuesday from the money that comes from your work. Now, the moon is making a kite, right, with Venus to the north-south node axis at the end of the week. That's happening Friday, Saturday, Sunday. In essence, you could be feeling like by letting go, you're lifting up. By releasing, you are soaring higher. What is it? One friend, one job path, one dream or vision from your life. You're letting go of something. Because Venus is in the ninth house of Dharma and what's the highest good for you and wisdom, and the moon is coming from the house of you. You are the lunation or the extremist at the energy of this end of the month, end of the week. You're making some extreme decisions to let go. Some 11th house matters in order to soar. Sometimes it's like, getting rid of the dead weight in the sinking boat, just enough time to get a rescue ship coming in. So you jettison, certain things off the boat or something. In this case, friends, dreams, ways of making money. You're trying to source passion, joy, enthusiasm. You're trying to go in that direction over the next 18 months. Some of you might become full-blown entrepreneurs in the next 18 months, but you're focused more on the fifth house matters financially, even money, luck. And so see if the end of the week, even Friday, Saturday, you could have a bonus points, a windfall, some kind of money luck from speculation, gaming, or lotteries even, with the North Node Chiron at the handle of this kite. And that could be extremely interesting if that happens for some of you Sag Sun, Moon, but most accurate rising sign. Okay, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, especially Rising. So the week begins Monday, Tuesday with a lot of tension around a critical feeling of extreme energy where you want to cut away and end something in the Libra part of your sky, which is your career path or your reputation. It's how you're seen doing things in the world, and you just want to cut out. And honestly, for a lot of Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising people, the South Node transit through the 10th house over the next 18 months will have you forego, let go, release, surrender, a path of purpose and career, ambition and success that's no longer working for you. I'm Aquarius rising. I just had that. I'm hardly seeing any clients one-to-one next year compared to what I did over the last 4 years because I'm having to let that go because I don't have the stamina for it these days. But you may be just seeing the beginning of what you need to let go of. The new moon that we had on July 17th in Cancer is in the house of your clients, your customers, your audience, and your significant partner. And it is a new beginning. And for some of you, because Juno is and was there, it could be the beginning for a Capricorn of a legal marriage, a binding contract around relationship over the next 6 months, or decisions around those sorts of things. New beginnings. But at the same time, I'm reminding you that this gritty beginning of the week is like, it's an angst of some sort around one's purpose or reputation. And then as the week progresses and we move to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and a kite starts to form in the 10th house as well, you're starting to see breakthroughs of success and you're seeing some kind of glimmer of hope. Venus is supporting the kite from chunky money that you could win, money you could get through investments, money you can get through inheritances, maybe enough money for you to let go of this path once and for all. Then you also have support from the moon, Friday, Saturday kind of vibe, from the 12th house, foreign lands, foreigners, places from foreign shores, backroom deals, negotiations. Ultimately, you're expanding and you're trying to find a very powerful place of healing in your new home, expansion of your home. If you're a Capricorn, over the next 18 months, you're going to change your home. No doubt about it for 90% of you. And so there's an expansion in the home, but Chiron's here and Chiron's saying something like, and it's a place of healing and wholeness. It's a place where I can express my true purpose. And you get a glimmer of that energy Friday, Saturday, some sense of directionality and success. All right, now I am one of you, Aquarius rising, and this is also good for Sun and Moon, but always rising signs should be most accurate. So the week starts Monday, Tuesday with this tension going on in the Libra part of your sky. Now this is an interesting place because it's really the house of your philosophy, spiritual life, South Node going through the 9th house can be the end of a religion over the 18 months ahead or a spiritual enlightenment episode, but whatever it is, you're feeling this Monday, Tuesday grit and you want to just extreme moon cut away. So Crescent moon is the extremist moon and you want to cut something away in your 9th house. Like, I'm done with that philosophy. I'm done with that religion, or I'm done with that court situation, or I'm done with that foreign land thing. You want to cut it off, cut it away. the energy is that you've got this desire to cut away in order to be more dharmic, to be on purpose, to be enlivened by purpose. Okay. Lots of good ways to parse that ninth house. By the time though you get to Friday, Saturday into Sunday, the kite is taking some power away from the frustration that you felt Monday, Tuesday. And now you're feeling some sense of positivity and success here. You get support for that kite taking off on the end of the week from Venus in the 7th house of your marriage partner, your business partners, and your clients and audience, where you're getting a lot of diva energy for the 4 months, June through October, Venus being there. And you're getting support from a moon in the house of friends who are allies and benefactors. So you're getting double end support from friends, allies, groups of belonging, and also 7th house people. This for some of you can also be financial up levels coming from the 11th house of career gains through new clients or different clients or old clients returning to you that help you align with your purpose in a new and more powerful way. The new moon happened in Cancer, and it's about the work you do. You're trying to reset for 6 months ahead, Aquarians, a new path in work. Boy, I can relate. But it is wanting to also take note of the spiritual and wisdom quotient, the deeper soul thing that you want to achieve in your 9th house. It's also about books, book publishing. So let's see what happens there. And the kite is being held by Chiron North Node in the 3rd house. A lot of you want to get busy in the online world, writing, trips and travel, siblings, cousins. This is where all the root of this kite is on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Maybe you're going to take a trip on the weekend. Maybe it's going to fortify you. Maybe you're going to want to do something in the online space, and it's going to really give you a lot of hope and optimism about this new path. Because ultimately, the longer story here is you're looking for a deep sense of purpose and unique meaning, Chiron, to do with the things you're doing in those 3rd house endeavors. And that's true, by the way, all the way through the next year and a half. And this moon is just that little grit, little oyster pearl. Is created from the grit of discontent Monday and Tuesday, but you see some kind of silver lining shining through on Friday and Saturday. And look for female partners, female friends, female allies who are partners in business or clients and audience to really break through for you Friday, Saturday, or for your main squeeze to really shine some positive light towards you that really helps you move into a state of more grace Friday and Saturday. All right, then Pisces, rising signs most accurate, sun and moon secondarily. So the beginning of the week on Monday and Tuesday, you might feel this frustration or this need to cut. You may feel very extreme about it, to do with 8th house matters. Now, money that doesn't belong to you is here. Inheritance money, investment money. South Node is like surrender, release, let go. I mean, it can be you quit your financial advisor, or you sell some stocks, or you're going through some time with the South Node in the 8th house where you could find some depletion and like a leaky bucket in your resources, the money that you're not working for, but that you may have saved, or you wanted to retire on, or that or you're getting because of some connection to the word inheritance. And certainly in the sky, Monday and Tuesday, you feel that frustration and that tension. And then when we move forward to Friday and Saturday, we see a kite forming in your 8th house. But I want to remind you that we had a new moon in your 5th house, which should make you very entrepreneurial over the next 6 months, moving in that direction, or very focused on play and pleasure and fun and new beginnings, and vitalizes you. Very follow your bliss, Joseph Campbell, 5th house energy, find the joy spark in your life, and find your natural talents that you can give the world through the joy spark of the 5th house in the 6 months that follow the July new moon. And with the goddess of marriage here, it could be a business partnership that brings you joy, a partnership with a romantic person, a love partner that brings you great joy. It's going to help you sort of reform something in the 6 months that follow. And the reason we're talking about that some of the stories in this very first, few days, July 17th, all through to the 24th, 29th, 30th, are telling you where the big 6 month story goes. Now, here we can also say that the kite that forms in your 8th house, which means success, where you were frustrated Monday, Tuesday, you're feeling a sense of relief and success in that money house, you're getting a lot of support from two quarters. You're getting a sextile from Venus in your house of work, colleagues, coworkers. Venus is retrograde. People you've worked with in the past may come out of the woodwork, and they're supporting you in some financial manner. And then you also have the energy of the moon in the 10th house of reputation. No doubt about it. It looks like a opportunity, a work opportunity or a career opportunity can be percolating Friday, Saturday, Sunday in this kite. And the handhold of the kite is Chiron, asking you to find meaningful work and meaningful earning strategies that are deeply original to your true soul, your fingerprint, your original medicine. He's been asking that of you since 2019. He doesn't stop saying that, like doesn't shut up on that stupid theme. For some Pisces, it's frustrating until 2026. So it's ongoing. But the North Node through your second house over the next 18 months is giving you the answers, or at least the striving and grasping and directionality to find the answers to what's my purpose, or where is this sort of way to be working financially in a way that's meaningful and true to me. I was born with Chiron in the second house. I've never been able to hold down a job in my life if I didn't like it, if it didn't feel true. And that's why I'm mostly a self-starter. So that's the story. I'm seeing you guys having a very interesting Friday, Saturday, Sunday vibe. And I think you may be hearing from somebody from your past, basically, connected to the themes of work. Don't make radical decisions Monday and Tuesday about money or finances. You've got to take some breathing space until the end of the week as a bit of advice, because you really don't have the big picture yet. All right. Thanks for listening, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's get out of this slideshow, which didn't really make any sense because the moon is all over the place. But thanks for listening. If you like my channel, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I would really appreciate that. And don't forget my promotions on. If you didn't miss the beginning of the video or jumped ahead, get the promotion for my 2023 All Signs videos, and you get those videos, and they're so frigging long. They're 60 minutes times 12 for free when you sign up for my Cosmic Moonshine newsletter. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Or wonderful week ahead. Take care.